He was the voice of a rabbit who loved carrots,
Uh-oh. Now where'd that soap go?
a duck with a temper,
Confidentially, folks, I ain't going south this winter.
a pig who couldn't quite finish his sentences,
Yes, sir.
and hundreds more. Yet you probably never saw his face. His name was Mel Blanc, and for over 50 years he was the voice of nearly every cartoon you grew up with. Born in San Francisco in 1908 and raised in Portland, Oregon, Mel was fascinated by sound from the very beginning. He'd listened to the world the way musicians listen to notes: the creak of doors, the hiss of a train, the chatter of people on the street. As a kid, he'd drive his teachers crazy by mimicking them perfectly. Every word, every tone. One teacher even scolded him, saying,
"You'll never amount to anything with that silly voice."
Turns out, that silly voice would go on to define an entire era of animation. But Mel's path wasn't easy. When he first tried to break into show business, he was told he wasn't right for radio, that his voice was too strange, too animated, too unpredictable. He was rejected again and again, but instead of giving up, he got obsessed. He once said, "Every voice I ever did came from getting told I wasn't good enough." By the early 1930s, Mel finally found his footing, not in front of a camera, but behind a microphone. On the Jack Benny program, he became a household name, or rather, a household voice. One moment, he'd be an eccentric old man, the next a sputtering car engine or a talking animal. He didn't just imitate, he became whatever the script called for. He later said, "I always imagined what things would sound like if they could talk." And that imagination soon caught the attention of Warner Brothers. In 1937, Mel joined Warner Brothers Cartoons, and from that moment, the golden age of animation truly began. He didn't just voice Bugs Bunny, he was Bugs Bunny.
What's up, Doc?
That Brooklyn accent, that sharp wit, that cool confidence, all came from Mel. And here's the crazy part. That famous line, "What's up, Doc?" wasn't in the script. Mel ad-libbed it, thinking it sounded like something a wisecracking rabbit would say. The studio kept it, and it became one of the most iconic catchphrases in history. But Mel wasn't a one-trick rabbit. He was Daffy Duck's chaotic energy, Tweety's innocent sweetness, Yosemite Sam's red-hot fury, Sylvester's lisping frustration, and Porky Pig's adorable stutter. Each voice had its own rhythm, its own emotion, its own heartbeat. It's said that Mel didn't just perform characters, he created entire personalities out of thin air. His microphone was a doorway to hundreds of worlds. Then, in 1961, tragedy struck. Mel was in a near-fatal car accident in Los Angeles. He suffered severe injuries and fell into a coma. For weeks, he didn't respond to anyone. Doctors tried everything. Nothing worked, until one leaned over and said softly,
Bugs Bunny, can you hear me? What's up, Doc?
Mel's characters lived on inside him. It was as if his creations refused to let him go. Slowly, he began to recover, and astonishingly, he continued to record voices from his hospital bed. Warner Brothers even brought microphones to him so he could keep working. Mel went on to voice Barney Rubble in the Flintstones, Speedy Gonzales, Foghorn Leghorn, Pepe Le Pew, Marvin the Martian, and so many more that he earned the nickname the Man of 1,000 Voices. Despite his fame, Mel always stayed humble. He once said, "I never really thought of myself as an actor. I just liked making people laugh." And laugh they did, generations of them. He gave life to characters that still speak to us today, proof that the human voice, when filled with imagination, can be just as powerful as any special effect. When Mel Blanc passed away in 1989, Hollywood said goodbye to a man whose voice shaped childhoods for over half a century. His tombstone says simply, "That's all, folks." Mel Blanc wasn't just a voice actor. He was the sound of an entire era, a man who turned rejection into laughter, pain into personality, and silence into magic. And that's why, even today, when you hear that familiar line,
What's up, Doc?
it's not just a rabbit speaking. It's the echo of one man's imagination that never stopped talking.
That's all, folks.